Hello and welcome back to TST. If you're new to the channel, tap on the subscription button and press the notification bell so you can receive news and updates that you can rely on daily.
The president gets an F. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi criticizes President Trump on distributing national testing. She backs her comments where she called him a poor leader. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said that President Donald Trump gets an F on testing efforts for the novel coronavirus during an interview with Fox News' Chris Wallace Sunday. Pelosi's appearance on Fox News Sunday with Chris Wallace was her first on the network since 2017, according to a previous press release from the network. She spoke to Wallace about helping more U.S. workers navigate through the coronavirus as well as her thoughts on the president. The president gets an F, a failure, on the testing, Pelosi said. Take a watch.
The president announced a plan this week to reopen the country, and you immediately criticized it. I want to put up what you said. The White House's vague and inconsistent document does nothing to make up for the president's failure to listen to the scientists and produce and distribute national rapid testing. But Dr. Anthony Fauci endorsed the plan. Take a look.
If these things are done correctly, what I believe they can, we will have and there will be enough tests to allow us to take this country safely through phase one.
Don't you believe Dr. Fauci?
Yeah, well, he said if this were to be done properly, well, it hasn't been done. On March 4th, we passed our first bill, bipartisan, testing. It's over 6 weeks since then, and it hasn't been done. So he's saying if it is done properly, we're already very late on that. But he's right. It has to be testing. It has to be tracing, contact tracing. It has to be treatment, and it has to be quarantine. It's part of something bigger as well to be done properly. But we're way late on it, and that is the failure. The president gets an F, a failure on the testing. But Dr. Fauci's right. If it is done properly, it hasn't been. And that, I think, when he puts it in the if it's done, is an admission that it hasn't been done.
The sick puppy grades the president with an F. Fine. Who cares what she grades? If she thinks over 500,000 being confirmed wasn't done by testing, but rather by witchcraft, no wonder these Democrats are always going on witch hunts, eh? Makes sense. I mean, what the hell does she think the White House and the COVID-19 task force is doing? If they haven't been doing their job facilitating testing, how come the people who've been confirmed? Rather, it's time to ask the question the president's been asking. What the hell are the House Democrats doing? Where are they? Oh, they're on vacation. On vacation, eating dozens of tubs of gourmet ice cream from the $25,000 freezers. That's what they're doing, while the rest of the nation is still worried on how to keep bringing food on their tables, how to keep the roofs over their heads, how to keep their businesses afloat, worried about whether they would be laid off or not. And these tax-paid lowlives keep fleeing their job of signing a simple coronavirus paycheck protection program fund for weeks when the existing funds have already dried up. And this old hag, she claims the president hasn't been doing his job. Let alone this situation. When was the last time Pelosi has done her job in the House? Pelosi also addressed Tuesday comments where she called Trump a weak person and a poor leader. Wallace noted that Trump goes after Pelosi and making it a two-way street. He asked if Pelosi thinks if those kind of partisan attacks by her are constructive in the middle of a national crisis. Take a watch.
Just this week, you called President Trump a weak person, a poor leader. Now, I understand that he goes after you, so this is fully a two-way street. But do you think those kinds of partisan attacks by, in this case you, are constructive in the middle of a national crisis?
Well, I'll tell you why I came to that. I was very prayerful on Easter. It was one of the first days I didn't have to be working every minute, and I could reflect and be prayerful. And what I decided was that the president has made many mistakes. Okay, let's have an after-action review of that. But if he continued to put forth proposals that were not science-based, continuing his, what did he say? It's a hoax. It's magically going to go away. Okay, put that aside. But to proceed with policies which were not science-based, which are not evidence-based, and to blame others, name anybody, blame the governors, blame me, blame the World Health Organization, leaders take responsibility. So I said he's a weak leader. He doesn't take responsibility. He places blame on others. And that might have been okay for before, but we cannot continue down a path that is, again, I'll come back to science, evidence, data on how we could go forward.
The old hag claims she's praying to God for this situation to pass to ease the people's troubles. Guess what, Pelosi? I'm not sure if you've been given a decent upbringing, but I do sure doubt that. Your parents should have taught you that mere words don't mean a thing to God unless they're followed with actions that truly reflect upon those prayers. But most unfortunate is that we Americans haven't seen any actions lately. Well, not from you. All you're doing instead of trying to help ease the troubles is you're injecting chaos and fear and worsening the economic disaster when you have the authority to help do the exact opposite. It seems as though a person of God should have known that rule of helping with good actions instead of words already. Unless you haven't been praying to God, but the Diablo himself, which very much explains your action of inaction in a time of such national crisis. Pelosi, you are a total shame to not just Americans, but to all God's creations.
Share your thoughts and responses in the comments down below. If you've liked this report, let us know by tapping that like button down below, share the news among friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more news and updates on TST. I'm David Ravine, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, stay home, stay healthy, and stay safe.